All right, welcome everyone to another webinar from Fortra, formerly Help Systems, and we had a name change not too long ago, but we are the same company behind the robot solution. Today on this webinar, we're here to talk about Robot Schedule Enterprise, the safe and secure replacement for Run Remote Command, and I'll explain the problem that we discovered not too long ago, or a while ago, I should say, really. And then show you how Robot Schedule Enterprise can handle this issue for you as customers. This webinar is being recorded. Certainly, if you want handouts or you want to listen to this or share it with your team, we encourage that. You'll find it out on the Fortra website, or you'll find it in YouTube because we put all of our recorded webinars out on YouTube. So let's get started. First of all, Johnny, not to put you on the spot too much, but who are you? What do you do for Fortra? And welcome this morning.
Hi, Tom. Yep, my name is Johnny Yang. I'm a support analyst for Fortra, primarily on the robot side. I've been supporting robot and its products the 8 years next month.
Wow, congratulations. That's amazing. But I know you got some colleagues that have been in support for 25, almost 30 years. So it's a little different here at it's a little different here at Fortra. We really value guys in frontline. I can't tell you enough about all the great compliments I get from our customer base on our support and what you guys do for us. So thank you for doing that, Johnny. I'm Tom Huntington. I'm our EVP of Technical Solutions, longtime member, actually working on, I can't believe this, Johnny. It's going to be 35 years in June that I've been with Help Systems and Fortra. I'm also an IBM Power Champion, so if you ever need any contacts in the industry for pretty much anything around IBM, I probably know somebody somewhere in the world that can help you out if it's not something from Fortra even. So anyway, so let's talk about best practices for scheduling. One of the things I like to remind people of is that when you go into automating business processes or system processes, it's always good to have kind of a playbook or best practices of what is important. First of all, I'll say one scheduler. Why do I say that? I say one scheduler because if you ever want to do any forecasting for maintenance or what's happening on your system, when you have a open time to take something down for application upgrades and things like that, having it all in one scheduler allows you to better understand your batch window, your processing window, and when you can take things down. Event driven, it's always better if it's event driven. I know customers who used to run manual night processings that took, let's just say 6 hours. They go to Robot Schedule, put everything into group jobs, reactive jobs, make it all event driven, and they cut over 60% of their night processing window out because it's all event driven. I'm also a fan of keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it. If it sounds complicated, it probably is. Let's rethink it. Let's come up with a better plan and how to make things simpler. Now, it's easy for me to say that in some cases, but let's try as possible. Then be granular in your setup. It's better for restarting processes. You can rerun one process without impact to another. So one job, one step is a better approach. It doesn't cost you any more to do that, and it will make things more flexible long term. Use our dynamic parameters. They're called reserved command variables in Robot Schedule, but these are the ability to plug in dates and things like that on the fly, and you can build your own. Work with other teams for items to automate. Your security team, your business team, your development team, they're not always thinking about what's going to happen when this application gets rolled over to the operations team and how is it going to run. So teaching them about automation and the fact that you can do things for them saves them time. It frustrates me to hear about a development team that spent all their time trying to figure out how to make the night processing dependent on each other's steps and stuff like that when you got tools like Robot Schedule. And really, we're not the only tool that can help you do that. Eliminate timer jobs between different operating systems. So we're going to talk about that today, and really what Robot Schedule Enterprise allows you to do is eliminate, this runs in Task Scheduler at 8 p.m. at night, and this runs in Robot Schedule at 7 p.m. at night, and hopefully that hour window will be enough time to get the file transfer over there and those kinds of things. Let's eliminate those things. Use automation to monitor the success of automation. I used Robot Schedule way back on the System 38 day, and freshly out of college, I didn't talk about things like service level agreements and all that kind of stuff, but I believed in automation early on, and I used Robot Schedule and its commands to monitor other Robot Schedule jobs. It was a great way of being able to monitor the success of the automation. Of course, today we have built-in things like job monitors, and we have the jobs missed command that you can use to help predict things based on forecast and completion history. And then, of course, management by exception has always been something I've preached in automation. You can only know about the exceptions because you're so busy. Everybody's so busy. Everybody's short-staffed. Now let's focus on the exceptions. And then you're never done automating. I hate to say it. Welcome to the world of automation, but there's always something new coming up that you need to automate. So keep that list. All right, enough preaching from Tom. Let's do our first polling question. Let's open that up here. What are your top scheduling challenges related to Windows and IBM? So this is kind of primarily addressing Windows. We know that from the marketplace study that probably 85% of you have Windows servers alongside of IBM. Certainly some don't. They're running Linux, and then some customers only run IBM and don't have any Windows servers that they worry about. So if you could answer this polling question, what troubleshooting issues, watching file creation, monitoring success or failure of tasks, security of running the processes, eliminating the timer jobs. We'll give you a little more moment here to answer those before we move on. We're going to have a live demo today of Robot Schedule Enterprise. Johnny's going to be sharing his expertise there and showing you that. So I'm going to close this poll here because, gosh, we only have so much time. Johnny, there's the results. It looks like the number one thing is 83% monitoring the success and failure of tasks that are running on the other platform being number one. And then 67% saying troubleshooting. Well, Johnny will show you today how you can see the Windows log and the IBM log right from Robot Schedule Enterprise. Very, very cool thing to be able to see. All right, so let's just hide this away and keep on moving here from our polling question. Fairly short agenda. What is Robot Schedule Enterprise? The problem and the solution. What are we solving today? And then our live demonstration. So this is a 25-minute webinar, so hold tight. It'll be rather quick. Certainly, Johnny and I are here afterwards to answer any questions that you might have. But what is Robot Schedule Enterprise? Where did it come from? Well, Robot Schedule Enterprise, I'm trying to remember, I believe we started shipping it right around 2006. And it was a replacement for a previous product we had called Robot Client. Back in the late 90s, we had a product called Robot Client that allowed us to schedule processes on Windows servers, okay? Robot Schedule Enterprise came out in the 2006, 2005 timeframe, and it was a Java application running on IBM and using Java on Windows, Linux, and Unix to be able to interact with those platforms. So well over, we're approaching 20 years of doing this actually. What it built is an IBM-centric enterprise scheduling tool around Robot. What we did is what's different from Robot Client was really a separate product. With Robot Schedule Enterprise, the enterprise technology is integrated right into the GUI, and the IBM batch control is integrated right into Robot Schedule so that we can control everything. So first of all, very proven technology. It's been around for a while. We have a lot of customers using it around the globe. Some of the high-level features are file monitoring, file watching, whatever you want to call that, directory monitoring, new files added, certain size, certain hasn't changed for a while. Things like that we can do with file and directory monitoring. And then let's not forget about processes, daemons monitoring. Often the challenge with Windows servers is, hey, the service isn't running. Or the process isn't running that we're dependent on. We can use Robot Schedule Enterprise, as I said earlier, use it to help monitor the automation. And certainly we can monitor processes and daemons. And then of course, script execution. We are a command line type product, so we need a script or a bat file to run, and then we can monitor for the return codes coming out of that. And then the last thing is just log integration. Of course, everything else is integrated into robot schedules, so date and time and reactive jobs and group jobs all work with Robot Schedule Enterprise. This is just kind of for those who like a picture, we have Robot Schedule, runs natively on IBM I, runs in the background, and Robot Sleeper subsystem. Along the way, we've also got some other integrations. Enterprise One, we can run your UBEs with it. If you run SAP, we can run your BAPIs through Robot Schedule. And then we have the Robot Replay product, which can run interactive processes on IBM I through Robot Schedule. That's an optional feature. These are optional features. And technically, Robot Schedule Enterprise is an optional feature. These items do cost extra, but they don't break the bank based on my experience. So Robot Schedule Enterprise, what it does is adds Java to IBM I, adds Java to the Linux, Windows, UX, HP UX, AIX, Solaris environments, and gives us the ability to automate scripts over there, monitor files, in case of SQL Server, run SSIS packages as a result of a job running on IBM I. Now there's a little A in here, we also can integrate through Robot Schedule Enterprise with our popular RPA product called Automate. Automate is a RPA product. Now Johnny's going to take us through the GUI, but I do have an image of it here. The Robot Schedule Enterprise interface. It is, in this case, integrated. I have it running in host mode with the robot network in the background, but my one partition wisdom, we can see things like the jobs by agents. So I can see jobs that are running on individual Windows servers or scheduled to run on there. I can see the scripts that I'm running. I can see I can prompt for the built-in functions like the SSIS packages in SQL Server, and then automate. We can tie into that too. Then down below here, we'll see the enterprise server branch itself. All these jobs, they have multiple rows here for the functionality. The unique things to Schedule Enterprise for a job is on initial setup. You have to tell us what server you want to run it against. The command entry, you're now doing Windows prompting. You can prompt directories and get down into that. And then for agent environments, deal with the security of running on that Windows, Linux, or Unix server. And then agent output is you can control spool data, textual-based data coming out of the server itself. So anyways, that's kind of a high-level PowerPoint view. We'll see the live product here shortly in anticipation, but let's talk about the problem. So this is pulled off the IBM website, so you can see for yourself. If you go out and just go to our good friend Google, type in run remote command and IBM I, you'll find this problem out there that IBM states, and really the diagnosing the problem is really what talks about why they no longer support it. But basically, somebody upgraded to version 7.1 of Client Act Solutions, IBM I applications of run command, Windows PC no longer worked for them, right? And so this is the statement basically from IBM saying that on December 20th, that they no longer are supporting run remote command. Now, you might be able to still run it, I don't know, but with security, you're putting yourself always at risk, and whatever you can do to resolve that. All right, so the solution is with Robot Schedule Enterprise, we are supporting, developing this solution using Java agents. We keep that up to date and secure. Add Robot Schedule Enterprise, you can put that on your IBM I, and then you add the agent code to your Windows servers. We can pick your port. We can run as a service on the actual executables that we execute. You can run under a user account that you want and choose over on the Windows side or Linux side for that matter, or Unix. And then of course we can establish a unique account that you want to use for running your batch processes or SSIS packages over on your Windows Unix server. All right, so this is all done basically through TCP/IP connections to that server. So again, the benefits of Robot Schedule Enterprise is we give you the built-in directory and file watchers, and we can monitor for add, changes, deletes of that information, and then we can run the scripts for you, testing for return codes. We integrate the job logs. We can help you with SLAs by eliminating timer jobs. Security for agents, you can run under SUID for your Linux and Unix environments, or you can pick a service account in the Windows environment. Individual account definitions for security, you have that ability. And then we have our fine support team from Fortra behind the support for this and helping you out. And of course, we also have services. So our services team can help you out with Robot Schedule Enterprise too. So at this point, what we're going to do is turn it over to Johnny. He's going to share his desktop. I'm going to make you presenter, Johnny, and that should be changing here shortly. And we'll, all right. Hopefully I hit on the high points here, Johnny, so.
Yeah, most definitely.
Good.
All right, is it showing my screen here, Tom?
It certainly is. Looks fantastic on my end.
All right, so here's the GUI portion, and as Tom mentioned, with schedule here, once you get Schedule Enterprise, it's this drop down as an add-on. And let me show the portion you would install on the Windows servers would be this agent manager. Once you install this, you can choose which ports to use. It gives you that ability for security. And that's how the two communicate. So you have a job that consists of a group job that consists of 2 jobs. It's going to be a reactive type job, so it's going to react to a file arriving on the on your Windows server.
Yeah, and I should say too that you have to use the GUI desktop version of Robot Schedule for doing scheduling for these enterprise jobs. It's just we felt politically you don't want to be scheduling Windows jobs from a green screen. That's really almost the only reason why we did that. Okay.
So it's going to have 2 group members. One's going to run a iSeries job, the other just a batch email from the Windows server.
Perfect.
And it'll react off to this file arriving on a directory. And,
so the file that's arriving is on a Windows server, right?
Yeah. Right. So for simplicity, just got a file out here on the desktop and starting here in this directory here. Back in schedule, it's going to be called an agent event monitor. So here you'll set up a event here to react off of. So I've got mine here, and we'll just make sure that the file has been detected.
Yeah, so you get history on every file that we monitored when it comes in, and if you slide it over to the right too, you can see the name of the file too. So. Yeah, perfect. So that's triggered. Yeah.
Triggered.
How do we know what reactive job it's running? You can right click there too, right? And go down to dependent reactive. Yeah.
Dependent. Yeah. So just the one group for now. And then I'll go to the job completion history and should see that group with its members taking off.
Looks like they ran at 9:20 by the looks of it there.
Oh yes, we just
we got other things, of course. Test environment. Those are some of my other jobs for different reasons. So.
Okay, so here's the job from the Windows side. So here we can display spool files, and if it were to fail, you could look at your agent job logs from here in the Windows side.
Which has always been one of the important features.
And yeah, here you'll see schedule and price logging onto the server and running your command here. So here it's gonna send an email. Check that side of things.
Yeah, so that's just using a robot alert built-in bat file called send message for doing some special alerting here.
Yep, and here's the alert showed up here in Outlook.
Oh, yeah, wonderful. Can we see the command details then too?
Yeah, most definitely. Back got it here. And
Go right down to the properties of the job, right? Yeah, very cool.
command entry, it's running a batch that's supplied with the Robot Schedule Enterprise to do an email.
And if you, can you, like if you say add new there, and notice you can prompt on the folder directory too and kind of work your way to find the bat file. So that's just showing you how easily with Windows we can integrate with and show you the actual, so you could work your way and find the executable that you want it. Well, we're not going to do that today. And then that add function thing too, if you click on that too, Johnny, it'd be great to just show that we can integrate, oops, do that drop down one more time, that'd be great. We can integrate with SQL Server jobs and run those SSIS packages and monitor those for you. And then also the automate task is that RPA product called Automate from Fortra. And we do have a few customers that are using Automate to run, Windows type, GUI testing, email checking, things like that. We do have a reason for that too. Cool, thank you.
And then under the agent environment, that's where it would ask for sign-on information secured.
Yeah, and see, let's see, you can click on private once just to show that. So if you want, you can have every job have its own user account, password, things like that if you wanted to run it over on the Windows server. Or when we say shared, what we're doing is we actually have a place where you can set up your security ahead of time and you'll see that shared environment, you can prompt that. Yep. And this will show you ones that are set up ahead of time that have jobs. Yep. And yeah. And then the initial setup, right? That's where the server itself comes from. What server are you going to run this against? Very cool. Any other things we have to demo today, Johnny? Well, we could do a blueprint against this group too, and so you'd see the Windows and IBMI job. The unique thing here is we made a IBMI job run as a result of a file coming in on a Windows server. We ran some scripts on a Windows server, and then we ran the IBMI job. So it's all event driven. And then, yeah, very good. Anything else, Johnny? Or did we lose your audio? Or did you lose my audio? Okay, I think we might have lost Johnny or you guys lost me. I'm not sure. So let me take over presenter control. And I'll show my screen here. And we'll wrap this thing up. So thank you, Johnny, for that demo. I think we lost your audio. We have another polling question here, so we will jump into that and see how we can help you guys out. And I'll launch that. If you're interested in a demo on this, a personalized demo for your team, we certainly can do that for you today. If you are interested in professional services around Robot Schedule or any of the robot products, we have that available for you. I'd like Fortra product health check, we can do that. Let's connect for a tech update conversation. I'd like a security scan. Those are all different things that we can do for you and provide that type of thing. I'm very excited to have been with you today and work with you on this. All right, I'm going to close the poll. All right, there's some responses coming in. Good, good, good. Now, the other thing at Fortra, just to remind you that our organization helps people out today with backup and recovery and high availability, document management centered around IBMI, cybersecurity, monitoring, alerting, business intelligence, capacity planning, and automation. It's a very busy time at our organization. We certainly are always keeping up with what's going on in the IBMI world. I want to thank you guys for answering that last polling question. And I'm going to, that's a slide that talks about everything that we do. And at this point in time, I want to wrap things up and thank you for joining us on yet another webinar from the Fortra organization. And unless we have any questions, if there's any questions, you can use the question toolbar and I can answer those questions. Okay, hearing none, have a wonderful day and thank you for listening on how we can replace Run Remote Command with Robot Schedule Enterprise. Have a great day.